some devotee. Okay. So we'll continue with our session 4 of glorious prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam. And now we are going to start prayers by Queen Kunti Maharani. And it will take few days, probably at least, I would say 4 to 5 sessions. Very, very important prayers. So we'll start with Mangala Charan. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamelam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Sharad Vihari ki Jai. Kishore Kishori ki Jai. So these prayers are so important that Srila Prabhupada, actually he composed a book with the name Teachings of Queen Kunti separately. And he did a very wonderful lecture series in 1973 in Los Angeles, multiple classes. Very, very important prayers. Let's see if I can share a little bit about this book. Yeah, in the introduction of this book, towards the end, Queen Kunti's celebrated prayers consist of only, let me see if I can increase the font. Hold on. Maybe this might be a little more readable. So Queen Kunti's celebrated prayers consist of only 26 couplets. So there are 26 verses in this chapter 8. The number of verses are 46 or 48, something like that. But in those 48 verses, 26 verses, which are 18 through 43, are considered a philosophical, theological, and literally masterpiece. The present book, Teachings of Queen Kunti, includes those inspired verses and illuminating commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and the most renowned Vedic scholar and spiritual leader of our time. This is accepted by all the advanced Vaishnavas, all the advanced spiritualists. And he was given the title Bhaktivedanta in Vrindavan. And he is the Jagat Guru of modern time. the most renowned Vedic scholar and spiritual leader of our time. In addition to this commentary, which was originally written in 1962, Teachings of Queen Kunti contains further explanations that Srila Prabhupada gave more recently in an absorbing series of lectures. In those memorable talks delivered in the spring of 1973 at ISKCON's Western World Headquarters in Los Angeles, he analyzed the verses in significantly greater detail and shed even more light upon them. So, very, very important lecture series Srila Prabhupada gave, and we all should listen to them. They are all on the internet. I can also share. And it's a masterpiece, no doubt about it. So with that background, let's go to the... so we'll try to cover as many as verses with some little context to this today. And we might be able to probably cover only a couple of verses. And then in the future sessions, we will try to speed up a little bit. We don't want to rush too much. The idea is to understand and have some takeaways for us, right? So when we talk about prayers, Queen Kunti's prayers are philosophical, very, very philosophical, as well as they give a lot of insights into the Krishna consciousness. So they are a combination of both. Sometimes devotees don't like to hear philosophy, it's boring, but our Acharya says philosophy and insights, the rasa, the nectar, both are required. Otherwise, the impact is not complete on the soul. So when we read and understand these prayers by great devotees like Kunti Maharani, Shri Bhishma Dev, Gopis, Arjuna, and so many Vritasur, so many mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can learn how to pray to Krishna. One of the names given to Shri Krishna is Uttam Shloka. Uttam Shloka means who is glorified with Uttam, the most beautiful, the most sweetest, and the best possible chosen from the available grammar or library. Those words. Those words are not applicable to anyone else. Krishna is Uttam Shloka. And feel free to switch on your cameras. That can make it a little more relishable, the whole discussion. It will be nice to have that interaction. If possible, please switch on your cameras. Otherwise, it's boring for both the sides. Okay, so Krishna, Uttam Shloka. Best words are chosen for his glorification. So when we read and understand these prayers or hear these prayers from these great devotees, we see how they have chosen the right words, the best words, the most beautiful words from the grammar for Krishna, because that's what he deserves. And what is prayer? Prayer is nothing but one-to-one conversation with Krishna. It's a deep meditation for us. It's not a ritual कि सुबह अगरबत्ती लगाया, दिया लगाया और कुछ prayer किया और we are rushing. We should take out our time. It's a deep meditation. It's like revealing our heart to someone. That's a prayer. It's a heart-to-heart connection. Soul to soul. Soul's connection to super soul happens through prayers. Even when we are chanting, we are praying to Krishna. We should not make it ritual, right? We should try to bring back our consciousness so that we can connect with Krishna during our chanting also. It's a prayer. And what is the objective, the goal of prayer? Anyone? What is the objective of any prayer? What are we trying to do when we pray?
To get the love of Krishna.
To get the love of Krishna. And meaning we are trying to please Krishna.
Yeah, please Krishna.
Right? Krishna is Rasraj. Raso Vesa. He's not a boring person. He's very dynamic, full of nectar, all very, very active. we can see all in his all pastimes how active, how naughty, how chanchal he is, right? Rasraj, Raso Vesa. Our Veda says Krishna is Raso Vesa. Only if we have to impress someone, only he is to be impressed. In this world, we are trying to impress upon each other, directly, indirectly, through our talks, through our actions, but through our showing off our money, our car, our houses, big houses, something might have bought, right? What we are trying to show off, most of the people in this world. They're trying to impress others. But what is the use? When we try to impress others, the net result is the other person might be saying sweet words to us, very nice, good job, congratulations, whatever. But generally, there is a feeling of greed or enviousness in the other person. We are making him more disturbed, actually, no matter who he is or she is. That's the nature of this material world. That's a conditioned mind. But if we can impress Krishna through our actions, through our words, job is done. 100% done. That's all what is to be done. But what is the challenge? We can't impress him like we try to impress others. So how do we get impressed by others? If somebody is a very good, very famous, rich person, great hero, great actor, maybe a great sportsman, right? We get impressed by others. Or someone these days, somebody eating tube lights, doing all these nonsense things. People get, what are the name of the show? I don't even know the Indian Idol or American Idol. People are doing some nonsensical activities over there. The point is, we just get impressed by others with the things that we think we cannot do, right? That's what impresses us. But Krishna doesn't get impressed by these things. How does Krishna gets impressed? Just like, think about a teacher. A teacher gets impressed by maybe one or two students only in the whole class, right? In generally, there are always only one or two favorite students of any teacher. And who are those students? Who are doing something different at other students, right? Teacher doesn't care whether he doesn't compare that special student, whether he is able to do what that teacher can do. Teacher is already a PhD, right? He is already accomplished, but he compares that student with other students, how that person is unique, that student is unique. Similarly, Krishna gets impressed when our bhakti, our devotion is very serious, very sincere, little different from others, right? So that's what impresses Krishna. So that's why Srila Prabhupada says, don't try to see Krishna. Do your services, do your actions, so that Krishna likes to see you. He chooses to see you. Okay. So now with this context of the prayer, the question comes, how come Krishna gets pleased by prayers? Or what kind of prayers? There are so many scholars who can write or compose great prayers. A very nice pastime, it comes in Chaitanya Leela. So there was a very, very scholarly Pandit with the name Keshav Kashmiri. And he had the blessings from Mother Saraswati herself, that no one can beat him in the whole world with the kind of Sanskrit grammar he knew, the way he could compose the prayers or Sanskrit verses. So now he became so famous, and he was still looking to make sure that no one else is left in the world, or at least in India, who can beat him. So Ahankar came, right? Because he became very scholarly, very jnani. So he came to Navdeep. He heard the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai, that he is a great Sanskrit scholar in this young age. And he challenged him. And he actually challenged everyone in the whole area because he knew that in that area there are a lot of Vidwan, lot of Pandits. So nobody could dare to come against him. But Nimai, Krishna, wanted to have his mercy on him. So, of course, when the news came to Nimai, he said, okay, I will check him out. So what this Keshav Kashmiri did, he very quickly he composed 100 verses on the spot in the glories of Mother Ganges, because on the banks of Navdeep, Mother Ganga is flowing. And on the spot, he composed 100 verses with pure Sanskrit grammar, high class grammar. And then he was looking in anxiousness towards Nimai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whether he's impressed now and he will accept a defeat. But he's Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He quickly found at least 5 faults in those prayers. And the whole pastime is there, very sweet pastime. And he revealed those faults to Keshav Kashmiri, and he was very ashamed of himself. That how could this young boy could catch those faults when he's reciting 100 verses in few minutes, right after one after another. So the point is that Krishna was not, he doesn't get impressed with our prayers when they are full of ahankar, full of our ego. So we'll see what is the kind of prayers he gets impressed with. So when this section of Bhagavatam starts, the context is, so we all know Kaurava Pandavas, right? Their family history. There were five Pandavas, 100 Kauravas, and then Pandu, Dhritarashtra, and important characters in Mahabharata. And so we'll not go into that detail. Our focus today is Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti. So this is what you are seeing on the screen is a snapshot of Mother Kunti's side of family tree. So there was a great king in Yadu dynasty. So Yadu dynasty comes from moon god. The 2 great dynasties in the Vedic history, they come from sun god and moon god. So from moon god, this dynasty of Yadukulas are coming, even Kaurava Pandavas, they are coming from moon dynasty. So the tree that is coming from Yadu, and then Vrashni, here we can see, right, this ring, and then great king with the name Shurasena. There was a king with the name Shurasena, and one we know on the left, Ugrasena, who was the father of Kansa in Mathura. But we are talking about Shurasena here. So Kunti, Mother Kunti, was daughter of Shurasena, and even Vasudev, the father of Vasudev, Krishna, he was son of Surasena. So Vasudev and Kunti were real sisters. So what happened? How come? And her name was, original name was Pratha. Pratha. That's why Krishna mentioned that name, son of Pratha, in Bhagavad Gita a couple of times. So how come her name, she is known as Kunti? So what happened? Shurasen has a cousin, Kunti Bhoj. Kunti Bhoj and Shurasen were cousins, but at the same time very good friends, very intimate friends, very close to each other. And Kunti Bhoj had no child. So Shurasena, out of compassion, he promised Kunti Bhoj that whenever I will have a second child, I will gift him or her to you. So after Vasudev, when Kunti was born, he gifted to, or we can say, she got adopted by Kunti Bhoj, King Kunti Bhoj. And that's why her name became Kunti. So that is brief history. of how, but in essence, she is sister of Vasudeva. So she is also aunt of Krishna. Who is she? Like what exact relation she has with Krishna? When we say aunt, meaning what? Anyone?
Bua.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Bua.
Krishna.
So when we are reading these pastimes, understanding these pastimes, we should also have the whole context. We should know Krishna's family because we are trying to become part of his family. So we should know his family history, his family tree in the spiritual world. These are all associates of Krishna who appears with Krishna to help him, assist him in pastimes. So Kunti, very beautiful girl, very talented, with full of seva bhav services, and she served lot of rishis, including Durvasa Muni, and she gets there is a history how she gets lot of blessings and boons, and she gets this special mantra where she can invoke any demigod using that mantra, and the demigod can fulfill her desire. So very gifted, very talented, very spiritually advanced devotee. So after Mahabharata war, when Pandavas won the war with the blessings of Krishna, Pandavas requested Krishna to stay back in Hastinapur. So now Dhritarashtra is the king of the whole Bharatvarsh, practically the whole earth planet, and they requested Krishna to stay back for some more time. Because they wanted more of his association. It's not like, job done, now we are kings. What is the use? What is your use now? No, they were very grateful to Krishna, who helped them in establishing the dharma, who protected them at every step. We can see the history of Pandavas at how at every step Krishna protected them. And so on the request of Krishna, so they were this was also a prayer by Pandavas, how they were using so beautiful words to Krishna to make him stay back. So I was thinking about it. It's just like when spiritual masters come or some devotees, great devotees come to our area, how we pray to them, how we request them to stay more, or even before they make the plans, I know how much we are engaged with their travel plan to make sure they can spend as much time as possible. And even after when they come here, there's a lot of excitement. The point I'm trying to make is when we are dealing with Krishna and his devotees, there is a lot of excitement. We want more of their association. The plans are made maybe a year in advance or months in advance. What they will eat, what they will like to do, what kind of programs, where would they can go and preach. So a lot of excitement, a lot of planning goes, a lot of back and forth interaction goes, communication goes, and then devotees pray, disciples pray to their spiritual master. They can spend more time with them. Of course, it's not like they're not very selfish where they would mind the spiritual master of their place, but try to work out with everyone so that everyone is happy. So, and just like spiritual master is very compassionate, they will come to your place, they will stay, they will allow you to serve. Krishna, although he was away from Dwarka, from his queens, his Dwarkavasis who were also pure devotees and were missing him like anything, he agrees to stay back because Pandavas were very dear to him, very dear. So that happens. Few days passed by. The pastimes happens about where Parikshit Maharaj is also saved from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. So whole pastimes happens, and then now Krishna stays there for 2-3 months more, and now it's time to go back to Dwarka. He decides to go back to Dwarka because almost every day, Dwarkavasis were sending letters. It's not like they were happy over there. Without Krishna, no one was happy. No one was happy. They were very, very in great distress. They were lamenting his absence. So every day letters were coming from Dwarka, from queens and residents of Dwarka, and asking Krishna when will he come back. Now Krishna is leaving again. And this is the scene when Mother Kunti start praying. So here we can see in this picture how there are, it is said there were millions of people in Hastinapur when Krishna was leaving who were following him. They were soldiers, they were devotees, they were the whole palace, and their families. It was following all the sages. They came when Krishna was leaving. Okay, so that's the scene, and that's where Mother Kunti will start praying. So we'll start from here. Now, interestingly, if we see, although we have completed the prayers by Arjuna, but if we see Srimad Bhagavatam, the first prayer, the main prayer, the title of the chapter itself is Prayers by Queen Kunti. That is by a lady. That shows how Krishna consciousness is for everyone. Anyone can follow path of devotion. Sometimes it is a misconception that ladies are being shown as inferior in Vedic literature or Vedic history. No, if we really understand and really read, these are the people who have no idea. They have never touched Srimad Bhagavatam, or maybe they have heard from the wrong sources. But if we really forget about Srimad Bhagavatam, who are the topmost devotees in the Golok Vrindavan? Who are the most intimate devotees of Krishna? That's a question. Anyone?
Radharani, Yashodamaya.
Gopis, Radharani, Manjaris, all feminine energies, right? So that's, and actually Srila Prabhupada says females can become devotee easily, and that's why they are the backbone of the whole family, because they don't put too much of mind, too much of logic, and that's a good thing in devotion. We should be intelligent, but devotion is bhav, heart. Our heart should be in devotion. So that's why Srila Prabhupada said, women are backbone of the family. They can make the whole family Krishna conscious. They are very, very important part in making sure the whole family remains Krishna conscious. So that's a very nice point that I wanted to make here. So let me share the verse. The first verse. Let me go to text. So these verses are mentioned in the book, the Prayers by Kunti Maharani. So we can read directly from this book. Now, yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You all can chant. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse number, I think it is 1:8:18. Kunti uvacha Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakritehe Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antirbahir Avasthitam. Yeah, Mataji, go ahead, please read. आप रिपीट कर लो नीना माताजी.
नमस्ते पुरुषाय त्वमीश्वरं प्रकृते परमाम् आलक्ष्य सर्वभूतानां सर्वबहिर्व्यवस्थितम्.
Very nice. Very good. Anyone else would like to recite? Okay.
Kunti Vacha Namaste Purusham Tvatyam Ishwaram Prakarte Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avastitham.
Yeah. We'll go to translation. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. So, out of these 26 verses, in the first 6 verses, Kunti Maharani is establishing the supremacy of Lord Krishna. So this is the art of prayer. Whenever we pray to Krishna, we should not just go and ask what we want. We should glorify him first. Who he is, how he is supreme, what are his qualities, how sweet are his pastimes, things like that, right? Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, although he was playing the part of her nephew. Such an enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obeisances unto her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as the original Purusha beyond the material cosmos. Although all living entities are also transcendental, they are neither original nor infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of material nature, but the Lord is never like that. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief among all living entities. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Very famous verse from Upanishad. Then again, he is addressed as Ishvara, or the controller. The living entities or the demigods like Chandra and Surya are also to some extent Ishvara, but none of them is the supreme Ishvara or the ultimate controller. Krishna is the Parameshwar or the super soul. He is both within and without. Although he was present before Srimati Kunti as her nephew, he was also within her and everyone else. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord says, I am situated in everyone's heart, and only due to me, one remembers, forgets, and is cognizant, etc. Through all the Vedas, I am to be known, because I am the compiler of the Vedas, and I am the teacher of the Vedanta. Who is the original teacher? Original Guru? Shri Krishna. Queen Kunti affirms that the Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still infallible. Queen Kunti affirms that the Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still invisible. Although he is within and without, still he is invisible. That's interesting, right? The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Krishna was present before her, yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Ashwathama's Brahmastra. Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Shri Krishna is all-pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserves the right of not being exposed to persons who are not surrendered souls. He doesn't expose himself to souls who are not surrendered to him. This checking curtain is called the Maya energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited vision of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follows. So that will be the next verse. So some very important points here. So first of all, we see Maharani Kunti is paying obeisances to Krishna, although she is his bua, his aunt. In the case of Pandavas also, we see how, although Krishna is Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan, still he used to pay his obeisances, his pranam to Maharaj Yudhishthira. and Bhim because they were elder to him. So that sign of respect was there. That is the Vedic culture. I still remember, like in India, if somebody was even a day or even few months older than us, we are supposed to do charan sparsh, pranam to them. So that's the Vedic culture. Unfortunately, it is getting lost. But here we see something different. That Bua is doing, obviously Sistu is her nephew. That's not odd because if we understand the words, that she is calling Shri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although she was the aunt, she never forgot her position. Here she is praying to him as Krishna. She is establishing him as the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan. So that shows that she knew her position and Krishna's position, actual position. So, and she knew that Krishna is just playing a role as her nephew. And we see that she is not confused, although she is perplexed. But she's fixed that he is still, although. So this interesting pastime is mentioned when Ashwatthama shot Brahmastra, a very, very powerful weapon, to kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of his mother Uttara. And Mother Uttara ran to Krishna to save her son. And Kunti Maharani was also present there on the scene, and she could see that Krishna is outside. She could take the darshan of Krishna outside. At the same time, Krishna, taking the size of the thumb, he went inside the womb of Mother Uttara with all his paraphernalia. How Bhakt Vatsal Krishna is. He didn't want to take any chance. Although if he wanted, just by the blink of his eyes, he could have stopped at Brahmastra. But he became very personal. And he, with all his Gada, Chakra, all his weapons, he entered into the womb of Mother Uttara and he started, ordered his Chakra to, make that weapon useless. Still, he was, using his Gada also at the same time. So Acharya says, Krishna, because he forgets his supremacy, his Bhagavata, and he becomes so personal with his devotees, his pure devotees, that he don't want to take any chance. Just like we see in Damodar Leela, how Krishna forgets his Supreme Lord and a little boy, little Krishna is running, and Mother Yashoda is running behind, and he is really afraid. It's not that he is acting, he is really afraid. So, and then Maharaj Parikshit was saved. So Kunti could see that he is without, he is outside as well as inside. So how come this is possible? But she knew Krishna can do everything. So she is fixed. Her faith is not like us, which can be shaken by somebody if says something, our minds get changed. Or we get influenced, or our mind gets contaminated. There should be firm faith in Krishna, that only he can save us. Only he is the Supreme Lord. Only he is our savior. That kind of faith Kunti Maharani is expressing here. See, also, she is well aware of Krishna, that he appeared as her nephew. Sometimes we see when a spiritual master or a senior devotee becomes too familiar with us, then we start taking that relationship for granted. They get familiar with us, or they show familiarity with us to encourage us. But out of our ignorance, out of our immaturity, we take it for granted and we become too casual with them. The problem is, when that happens, our respect for them comes down gradually. We will not even realize when it happens. And then we lose the opportunity, because if we don't have respect for somebody who can give us the signs of Krishna consciousness, then it's a great loss. Without respect, without faith in that person, cannot happen. If somebody doesn't have the faith on Srila Prabhupada or respect for Srila Prabhupada, then very difficult to understand these points that he is making here. This is not possible. So that's why we should always be very careful with our relationship with devotees, with Krishna. Although we are trying to make a relationship with Krishna as a friend, as a parent, whatever relationship we are trying to make, we should always remember that he's still the Supreme Lord. That's why Srila Prabhupada mentions in Krishna book and Srimad Bhagavatam also that we should always think that we are serving Krishna through his eternal servants. If we want to really make a relationship with Krishna as a friend, we should think we are serving him through by serving Madhumangal, Subal, Arjuna, his sakhas. If we want to serve Krishna in the parental mode, then we should become servants of Mother Yashoda, or the servants of Mother Yashoda, servants of the servants of the servants, in that manner. That is the mood we should have. So one point here is made, Krishna is within and without, that we just discussed, right? That Krishna is within and without. Like how he said Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, and he's also sitting in our heart at Super Soul, right? So he's within every living entity's heart. And also, just to show how he is, this is another bewildering pastime where Mother Yashoda sees the whole creation under his mouth. And he could see herself in his mouth also. That could be bewildering to anyone. So Krishna is within and without. We also sing this prayer, right? Narsinga prayer. What do we sing? Ito narsingo parato narsingo yato yato yami tato narsingo bahir narsingo hirdaye narsingo narsingamadim sharanam prapade. We should understand what we are singing. We are saying Lord is here and also there, meaning everywhere. He's inside my heart, he's outside as well. To that Lord, that Supreme Lord, I surrender. So we should always try to absorb the meaning of what we are singing. Okay? And he's yet invisible, Kunti Maharani says. Although he is everywhere, how come he will be invisible? So the idea is, Krishna reserves the right to expose himself, meaning everyone cannot understand Krishna. Just like 5,000 years back, Krishna was here for at least how many years? 125 or 126 years. But only pure devotees could understand. He's there, he's Krishna himself. So many other people came in his contact, so many demons, so many asuras, Kansa, Shakuni, and they had personal association with him. But association doesn't mean just being with a person. Association means exchange of ideas. Exchange of ideas in agreeable manner, right? And respect for each other. That is association. We listen from person and we follow the instruction. That is the real sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha doesn't mean just coming together, just singing some kirtan, just hearing or listening. Until that is getting absorbed and we are acting on it, sadhu sangha has failed. The whole process has failed. So just eating together, that is also not sadhu sangha. The real sadhu sangha it is described in our scriptures. What is the real meaning of sadhu sangha? It is the exchange of Krishna conscious ideas, exchange of Krishna conscious thoughts. Only that part is sadhu sangha. So we see how wonderful Krishna is, and he chooses whom he gets exposed to. He reserves that right. So why can't we see him? Let's see, why can't we see him? So we'll go to the another verse. verse 19. Maya javanika achanam agna adhokshajam avyayam na lakshe mudha drisha nato natyadharo yatha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. A beautiful poetic composition. You should remember these are prayers by Kunti Maharani. Very poetic. Not easy to understand unless we hear from Srila Prabhupada. So let's see. It's a long, little big purport. Let's see how much we can cover. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna affirms that less intelligent persons less intelligent persons mistake him to be an ordinary man like us. Thus, they deride him. The same is confirmed herein by Queen Kunti. The less intelligent persons are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord, who are rebellious in nature. And one who is rebellious in nature, he will always be very critical of even devotees. Slowly, that criticism will go to spiritual masters. He will start criticizing even the Guru Varga. That Guru is like that. You can see Facebook is full of that these days. And even verbally people will just say nonsense about anyone, even the advanced devotees. And then slowly, the offenses become so big that it will not show, but internally he will start losing faith in Krishna also, guaranteed. So such persons are known as asuras. The asuras cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord himself appears among us as Ram, Narsingha, Varaha, or in his original form as Krishna, he performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of this great literature, meaning 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of Vraja pastimes, Dwarka pastimes, Krishna Leelas, Lord Shri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his lying on the lap of his mother. Starting from almost practically day one, he started exhibiting heroic activities. He killed Putna witch, although she smeared her breast with poison just to kill the Lord. The Lord sucked her breast like a natural baby, and he sucked out her very life also, very tender age. Similarly, he lifted the Govardhan hill just as a boy picks up a frog's umbrella. And he stood several days continuously just to give protection to the residents of Vrindavan. And how old he was? Just 7 years. These are some of the superhuman activities of the Lord described in the authoritative Vedic literatures like the Puranas, Itihas, histories, and Upanishads. He has delivered wonderful instructions in the shape of Bhagavad Gita. He has shown marvelous capacities as a hero, as a householder, as a teacher, and as a renouncer. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which authoritative personalities like Vyas, Deval, Asita, Narad, Madhava, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and our Srila Prabhupada, and all other authorities of the line. He himself has declared, as much as in many places of the authentic literatures. And yet there is a class of men with demonic mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the supreme absolute truth. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy, which results from various misdeeds in the past and present. Such persons could not recognize Lord Shri Krishna even when he was present before them. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on their imperfect senses cannot realize him as the Supreme Lord. If we are trying to analyze Krishna consciousness with our senses without taking the guidance or personal guidance of a pure authority, bona fide spiritual authority, we cannot understand him. Or our faith will never be full. It will always be partial. Such persons are like the modern scientist. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge. But it is not possible to know the Supreme Person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described herein as Adhoksaja, which is beyond the range of experimental knowledge. One of the name of Krishna is Adhoksaja, which cannot be understood by these material senses. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, right? Right now I'm in this room, I can't even see beyond these four walls. I'm so limited. I can hear only so much through my ears. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observation of sense perception, Adhoksaja. Queen Kunti accepts this deficiency of the conditioned soul, especially of the woman class, who are less intelligent. For the less intelligent, there must be such things as temples, mosques, or churches, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about him from authorities in such holy places. So although Maharani Kunti, out of humility, is declaring herself as less intelligent, we all are like this. So that's why it's very important to go to these places where we can learn the science of Krishna consciousness. Just not for darshan. Temples are not just for darshan. Srila Prabhupada says they are spiritual hospitals. So we get a treatment there. We listen, we understand the philosophy, and we serve practically, and that's how we can understand Krishna. We become more intelligent in Krishna consciousness then. For the less intelligent, this beginning of spiritual life is essential. What beginning of life? That we should be following this process of going to temples, centers, these regular programs. And only foolish men decry the establishment of such places of worship, which are required to raise the standard of spiritual attributes for the mass of people. There is a lot of propaganda in India. We hear, right? What is the need of temples? We should make hospitals. We should do this charity, that charity. Only foolish men. They don't understand the importance of these spiritual establishment. We can do, definitely. We can build hospitals. We should feed people who are hungry, but they should be centered around Krishna consciousness. Feed Krishna Prasadam. In the hospitals, along with the medical treatment, they should learn the science of Krishna consciousness also. In the schools and colleges, this Vedic history, this Vedic knowledge should be taught also. We are seeing some kind of change in these days, but so many roadblocks are there still. So many organizations, they are against setting up the right way of education. For less intelligent persons, bound down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temples, mosques, or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotees to meditate upon him by active service. So very nice purport. Is already 8:30. A lot of points. Just a couple of points quickly, and then we can continue to discuss this verse next time. Is that Krishna reveals himself to only those who are intelligent, spiritually intelligent, not academically intelligent, and he performs so many heroic activities to try to reveal himself. So when only that's why devotees, when they read and hear these pastimes, they get more and more realizations. These are not just stories. These are transcendental stories. So as we hear these pastimes of Krishna and his devotees, our consciousness starts getting purified. It's a divine process. We can't explain it by logic. And then that's why we say, don't take the darshan of Krishna just with eyes. Take darshan of Krishna with ears. That is more important. Karnendriya. Bhagavatam says that. We should hear about Krishna, his pastimes, his devotees pastime. That's how the consciousness, that's the real darshan. Even when we go to the holy places, dhams, we should not rush around and check mark all the temples. We should hear from the pure devotees there, Krishna Katha. And source of hearing should be chosen very, very carefully, because although there might be many advanced people who are doing Krishna Katha, but we should choose one path after some time. So initially few years, we take our time, decide which is the right path. If we have chosen a path, then we hear from that parampara only. Otherwise, a lot of chances are there we will get confused. Until that, that maturity comes, where we can reconcile everything. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. We should not criticize the pure devotees. Our faith should be like Mother Kunti. So one example Srila Prabhupada gives, that regarding how Krishna doesn't reveal himself to foolish and unintelligent people. He says, just like in India, when you go on the road, when you're driving, you see a donkey on the road, right? So he is just roaming on the road and you want to pass through. You will press horn many times. He has no understanding. He will not move. Similarly, most of these people, they do not understand. No matter how much time we repeat, how much we try to explain, even try to prove them, tell them at least accept the process, try out yourself, just like that. They don't understand. So we should become spiritually intelligent. So we will conclude here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for listening. Any questions, any comments, any corrections? If anything I might have said wrong, please feel free to correct there. We can discuss. Hare Krishna. You can take 5 minutes. Okay. So if no questions, no comments, I hope everyone try to take some points, because that's the whole idea. We're not just coming and listening. Especially when we're on the Zoom, it becomes very impersonal. So we should always, in person is always better, but we can make the best out of the bad bargain. So please try to meditate on these verses. There are 26 verses. Let's see who is on the call today. Okay, only 7 people. Okay. Okay. So if any questions, any comments, we can discuss now. It doesn't look like anything. So please feel free to read these verses, or I will encourage to read these verses in Srimad Bhagavatam at home also. Very nice verses. And we'll continue next time. And yeah, Damodar month is coming pretty soon. So anyone would like to host program, let me know. We have a couple of requests already with us. So whatever days or, it might work out for you, let me know. And this Saturday, that is tomorrow, is a Kartik Kickoff Kirtan at ISKCON of Harrisburg, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pure Harinam chanting for 8 hours. So all of you are welcome, and I hope all of you can make it. A lot of devotees are coming from outside, and it will be a very ecstatic environment. And then Sunday feast program, Sunday talk at 4:30 p.m. on this Sunday at ISKCON of Harrisburg. So everyone is most welcome to join us there. Every day Japa call is there in the morning from 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Daily Srimad Bhagavatam classes are happening, so a lot of opportunities for real sadhu sangha, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day, Monday to Friday. And yeah, a lot of programs are there. So thank you again. Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarobhyo kripa sindhubhyo evacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can you announce for that Vedic Sunday school, like if
Yeah, I was hoping more devotees could be here. Unfortunately, even on Zoom, we are not seeing much participation or timely participation, but that's okay. So yeah, we were announcing in our annual program also that we are starting or restarting Sunday of Vedic school. So we will see. We have got few registrations already. So we need everyone's help to reach out to your contacts in the area to at least make them aware that this great opportunity for their kids is there. So I will share the form. There is a registration form where they can put their information so that we can group the kids nicely. And really great opportunity, because I know Tungudia did it for 5 to 7, probably 6-7 years when our kids were little, and we could see how much benefit they have got as they grew up. We might not realize it apparently or explicitly, but there are a lot. We can see their sanskars right now. So we should give the same opportunity to others, right? So we have some volunteers who will help out with this service, and yeah, we are going to start soon. So please, at least reach out to others. Don't hold yourself. Be active service. Be in the active service. At least we can reach out to others and at least expose them to this opportunity. And then if they would like to or try it out, we'll see how Krishna attracts them. So that's the idea. Anything else you want to add, Tungvidya?
no, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Any
Hare
questions about Vedic school? Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.